I cannot think of anything that's more awful, unspeakable, and wrong for a government to do than to use its power to execute somebody who didn't commit the crime they're accused of. The problem with capital punishment is that once it's inflicted, you can't take it back. It can't be corrected. Since our colony was founded, 1,389 people have been executed by our government in this state, more than any other governmental entity in the United States of America. I believe it's estimated that for about every 10 death sentences that are rendered, one innocent person is convicted. That ought to just give you chills to think of the thousands of people in America who've been executed, how many of them were actually innocent. There is an indisputable connection between the death penalty and racial oppression. And that is impossible to deny. All you got to do is look at the statistics. You're much more likely to receive a death sentence if you kill somebody who's white and you're not. You're much more likely to get it if you're poor, if you're mentally disabled. You're much more likely to get it if you have a diminished IQ. You're much more likely to get it if you have a brain injury. This is, for the folks who end up commit murders often have different sorts of problems. Those problems put them in certain economic circumstances, and those things collectively often result in people getting a sentence that if they had the resources to defend themselves, they probably wouldn't get the death penalty. We ought to look at who we stand with today. Ask yourself, what other countries are still doing this? There's not a single other Western industrialized nation that's doing it. The country that leads the world, as far as we know, in executions is China. But we don't really know how many. We just know they do a lot, over 1,000. Next in line comes Iran. After that is Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Egypt, and then the USA. Right after us is Pakistan, and right on Pakistan's heels is Somalia. And if we'd had this discussion, 7, 8 years ago, we'd be standing there strong with ISIS. When we think of America as being the beacon of hope and freedom that it is, and we ask other countries in the world to look at how we adjudicate our people, and we look at how we treat other people in our society, this is not something to be proud of. This system we have has just become completely untenable. It just doesn't work anymore. And it's time to move on.